Well, what a wonderful day it is. Thank you so much for having me here this afternoon. I've been looking forward to that. Thank you, Lynn, Chris, Florence. I was very impressed with what WSG is doing in terms of the help they're rendering to the workforce. And also, I want to appreciate all of you for choosing the helping profession. And you are really very special people because not everyone aspires to help another. And a little bit about myself. Okay, my background. Anyway, I'm the founder and the stakeholders of the stakeholder of the Precious Life Group, which comprise of the Academy of Certified Counsellors. We are a private membership organization. We have thousands of members. And we have the ACC Institute of Human Services that's registered with the Committee of Private Education. So we have 3 schools, the School of Counselling and Psychology, whereby we train people to acquire counseling skills. And then we have the School of Special Needs Education, and soon we'll be launching the School of Gerontology and Elder Care. And then we have the Singapore Counselling Center. We see clients. We have about 10 over professional counselors, and we see clients on a daily basis. And then I have an interesting brand called the Singapore Emergency Responder Academy. Every year we train more than 10,000 over people on occupational first aid, basic cardiac life support, CPR, AED. Can I know by a show of hands if someone suddenly grabbed the chest and fall to the ground? Any one of you know what to do? Anyone? Oh, just one. What would you do? Huh? Precisely, that's the answer. Let's give a round of applause. But if you are trained in CPR and AED, okay, you can vastly increase the chance, all right, of that person's survival. All right, it's been proven so. So in any case, this is my Photoshop photo. I'm also a deputy marriage registrar. So every other week, I'm solemnizing some couple. So if you're looking for a wedding solemnizer, you can touch base with me, okay? But John, I don't have the opportunity yet. Well, I am launching. I've completed the beta version of my dating agency. So you know who to look for, okay? So in any case, oh, I've gone ahead. Okay. So the topic for us today, why you need to care for yourself first, self-care, and how to prevent burnout. And every single day, we're faced with many demands placed upon us. And it seems to be accelerating for many people. Not long ago, Channel News Asia asked me to go to the studio to discuss on anger management. And the question was, are Singaporeans getting angrier? What do you think? Yes. Yeah, there was such a topic. So, and it is very important when we help others, it is very important and be very mindful. We need to care for ourselves. There are a few reasons why, all right? But the key reason is because we need to be effective to help others. Because we've been taught that when we help others, we cannot be self-centric. We cannot be selfish. We have to put others first. But I want you to know, if you care for yourself, you are in a way putting others first. You are enabling yourself to be a lot more effective to help someone. Now, how many of you, I'm sure of us, we've taken a flight before. And the flight attendants would often make this announcement. In case of an unlikely emergency, put on your oxygen mask first before you help others. Now, this is a very important rule for survival in case of an unlikely emergency. Because if you run out of oxygen, you cannot help anyone else with their oxygen mask. This is fundamental and it's very important. Is there anyone here who is a trained lifeguard? Anyone? Okay. Now, as a lifeguard, if you are gasping for air, you're not going to save that person at all whatsoever. So lifeguards are trained very well how to pace themselves, all right, how to improve their fitness. And the sole reason being so that they can help someone and rescue someone. Likewise, for all of us who are in the helping profession, it is important you have to take care of yourself, to practice self-care, even on a daily basis. Now, I attended a program called the Tactical Combat Casualty Care. So I joined a group of people in Bangkok. They came from different countries, and I was the only business person there. The rest are from the forces, including from Hong Kong, the Special Tactical Force came. So we are trained how you can rescue someone in an actual combat field. So the key thing is that I learned, you have to stop your own bleeding before you rescue others. So we are trained to fire the Glock and the semi-machine gun. So the coach will suddenly, you will go there, you start shooting at the target. Okay, they say, suddenly they shout, you are now being shot on your right arm. Okay, what do? You put the handgun to the floor, you tourniquet the arm that is bleeding first. And then you pick up the handgun with the other hand and start shooting again. So this is very, very important, all right? Because as tactical combat casualty care specialists, they have to put themselves first. They have to be very mindful in this particular aspect, okay? Why do you do that? Someone asks you, miss national service? Okay, it's just for fun, all right? So it's part of my relaxation thing that I do to do something that is not usual, okay? So we are faced with stress, okay? Demands placed upon us. And there are positive stress and there are negative stress, okay? Give you an example of positive stress. How many enjoy vacation? Anyone? Okay, very good. And one of the ways the organization can support you is to give more leave, right? Okay, interestingly, Gina shared that she is an introvert and Christine is an extrovert. I am introvertly extrovert and extrovertly introvert in between. Okay, so that's positive stress, because just before vacation, do you notice that you can clear your work very fast? Do you notice that? So you, nothing is a problem. When your boss was a bit rude to you, it's okay, no issue, no big deal. Now, if you and I can capture just 50% of that, we'll be super performers anyway, if we can do that, even though we're not going for a vacation. But it just shows us that it is possible to operate at a high productive level if our mind is not stressed, if we have something to look forward to, and we tend to up our performance. Now, there is a difference between stress and burnout. Stress refers to a mental or emotional state wherein a person encounters tension due to adverse conditions. Now, a psychologist by the name of Richard Lazarus said, stress is a condition of feeling experience when a person perceives that demands exceed the personal and social resources the individual is able to mobilize. And when we feel that that issue, that situation is beyond our experiences, beyond our fortitude and resilience, beyond our logical reasoning to figure things out, we can feel really stressed, okay? And we experience stress on a daily basis, multi-factors. Now, what is burnout? Burnout is a situation, that's what the picture meant, you're burned out. It's a condition which results from prolonged exposure to stress. It leads to exhaustion of mental or emotional strength. It happened to the best person. And if you have a very strong personality, dominating, if you're not careful, you are a very easy candidate for burnout. I'll come back to this later on. Okay, let's look at certain definitions of burnout by certain psychologists. All right, number one, it's a state of physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion caused by long-term involvement in emotionally demanding situations. Then, according to Herbert Freudenberger, I feel hungry pronouncing the You feel that way also? Okay. It is a state of fatigue or frustration. Fatigue and frustration. In other words, there's always a constant vexation of the heart, brought about by devotion to a cause, a way of life, or relationship that fail to produce the expected reward. You have put so much in. You are so invested into the job, the career, the business, the relationship. And then at the end of the day, in spite of you trying your best and doing your best, you did not receive the expected reward. You can suffer a burnout. Okay? In my line of work, I have the privilege to be involved in many spheres. All right, in business, I was the chairman of a public listed company before, etc. Okay, I'm involved in the missions work, church work. I'm involved in, in many spheres. Okay, and I noticed that the problems of people are mainly in two areas, two key areas. If you and I can master these two areas in an ever-increasing measure, all right, a lot of our stress and misdirection of energy will be greatly reduced. People problems, all right, the problems of people can be compartmentalized in the two areas. Now, the power of compartmentalization is important. I like to share the illustration of a submarine. All right, if you look at the construct of a submarine, it's most interesting. All right, I've been on board one before when they call on Singapore. Okay, so I noticed you can get claustrophobic in a submarine. Okay, though I'm not so huge. Okay, and you find that when a fire broke out in a area, okay, they have doors to shut and contain that fire. In other words, it does not spread into another compartment, and they can focus to extinguish the fire out. And this is something we must really practice. It's very powerful practice. All right? So what happens to your job, your career, what happens during the day when you go to work, you must do your best not to bring it home. Not easy, but with practice, it can be done. And likewise, when you come to work, you cannot have your mother-in-law sitting on your shoulders. Okay? You need to compartmentalize that. It's a powerful practice. So back to this. So there's two key areas that people are very often stressed in. All right? It gives rise to other areas like poor health, etc. And how many can guess? The problems of people are, can be put into two key areas. Anyone? Just guess. All right. Okay. One is money. Financial problems, financial issues. Constant expenditure beyond one's ability to earn puts that person into great stress, eventually burnout also. All right. Of course, this will give rise to other issues because a lot of divorces have their roots in financial challenges, the pressure, etc. Okay. So if you and I can master financial management, okay, like the sharing by our two esteemed speakers, you run your own race. You don't compare to others. You don't feel inferior, ladies, when someone carries a nice handbag. What? Like what? Louis Vuitton? A branded one or what? Like, by the way, everything is branded now. There's always a brand. Giant plastic bag is also a brand. All right, if you get the bag, it's just for yourself, right? So your financial management is important, okay? So if you have a car, you get that brand because you enjoy. It's not for others to look at you so enviously, and then you're suffering every month paying the. Don't do that. All right, if you go to the scrap yard in Tuas, all right, I went there once to look for some things. My friend brought me there. I saw Mercedes-Benz. I saw BMW. I saw all kinds of brands there. And when I look at it, I see, all right, how many of these, owners, all right, as a result of that lifestyle they chose when they are not in their earning capacity, have resulted in so much stress in the family, etc. Because all end up in the scrapyard. Okay, so your financial management sense must be very, very sound. It is very important. Okay, so how many can guess what's the next area that people has a lot of problems in? Huh? Okay, you're correct, but I classified relationships. Because these two, and health is a major area as well. Because these two areas do impact someone's health. And when someone is sick of course, it impacts the finances as well as the relationship. All right, so there could be this third area. So in the area of relationship, we must be very mindful, all right, especially who you fall in love with. Okay, if not 10 years later, you're still singing the song 忘不了, okay, and you're not going to be so functional. Okay, so we need to manage, all right, the stress level, certain thoughts in our mind, and make certain adjustments and adaptations in order for us to be functional. Okay, it is very important for all of us to make it a point to work on our functionality. And I've noticed people, regardless of their age group, even people in their 20s, 30s, they are not so functional because of certain thoughts, certain experiences, and certain trauma, disappointments that they may have experienced. Okay, so it is important that all of us be functional. Now, when you are advanced in age, I can see so many young people here, all of us are so young. Okay, when you are, let's say, elderly, in whatever definition of the word, all right, do you see yourself receiving care from others? Beginning right now, you have to work towards, you see yourself as giving care to others. You are a caregiver, not a receiver. It makes a lot of difference. And if you think that way, you will protect your mental health. You will look at your diet. You will exercise more regularly. Why? Because you and I, we want to be functional. Okay. What are the causes of burnout? Okay, there's 3 key causes of burnout. Number 1, career-related causes. If you're involved in continuous, monotonous, and boring work, surprisingly, it can cause you to be stressed. I know of companies when they want that person to resign. They take a lot of work. Either they overload that person or let them do the most boring work. Eventually, tak boleh tahan, they throw in the towel, okay? And or consistent failure to meet KPIs. There was a question earlier on, how not to be stressed when you don't meet the KPIs. Well, if the KPIs are not too realistic, do have a discussion with your immediate superior, etc. Actually, as far as KPIs are concerned, all right, it all can be met, no matter what is said, okay? And the reason why KPIs are not met because many organizations and many individuals often underestimate the kind of energy, resources that are needed to make things happen. All right, and you need to take a lot of massive action, and this can cause a lot more stress. So it's like a triangle, all right, whether it is your revenue, the KPIs. So if you want to have bigger results, in other words, a bigger triangle, you need to increase the base, all right? And the base speaks of many areas, more talented, gifted, and committed people, all right? This one, you may have to look at your marketing, your A&P, etc., and other areas, okay? Inability to cope with demands and changes, toxic and chaotic work environment, unreasonable workload and responsibilities, okay? I know a number of you feel you resonate with the last one, unreasonable, huh? We're supposed, do you work 44 hours a week? Huh? Around there? More than that. How many days of leave do you have every year? On the average, anyone? 14? How many got more than 14 days? Oh, okay, how many days do you have? 28. Wow. So nice. Yeah. And then we have a public holidays. Do you work on Saturday and Sundays? Huh? Now, if you look at the total number of days that you need not work, actually, most people don't work for more than 3 over months in a year. That's the fact. You can calculate that. Huh? So I don't think, so we have to look at it in a different perspective, okay? So career-related causes. The other one is lifestyle-related causes. Overworking with no time for socializing and recreation. So what, our first speaker was saying about she spent time in solitude, All right, she liked to be by herself. Okay, what was she? That is part of recreation. So for the extrovert, perhaps, all right, they like to socialize. Okay, but whichever way, you must know what works for you. Okay, recreation is important and it is good. Okay, so in Japan, you find that increasingly there's this issue about overworking, whereby there are Japanese who fell down dead because of overwork. Huh? So far, there's no record of anyone dying in Singapore because of overwork. That's a good sign. We're doing okay. Okay, unable to get a good night's sleep regularly. Okay, I'll come back to this topic on sleep. Thirdly, lack of supporting relationships. All right, and you saw the video. You need to build meaningful relationships. Okay, so if you don't have many friends, okay, you know, you need to start to develop. It takes time. Okay, to have friends, first and foremost, you must show yourself as friendly. Okay, so you take time. And along the way, certain friends may drop off, all right, but you will have new friends, okay? And consistent expenditure above income, okay? That's part of lifestyle issue. And we have a specialist diploma in counseling of gambling addiction. And in the counseling center, we see people with gambling addiction issues. Okay, self-care. Number one, you must practice mindfulness. What is mindfulness? There's many definitions, but my definition is it's a purposeful, conscientious awareness of the intrinsic, what's within, what's going on within, and the extrinsic occurrences. So, in other words, you know what goes through your mind, your thought processes, etc. Okay? You are aware of that. You are aware about the triggers and buttons. That's why you lose it. You become very angry. In my younger days, I have anger management issue. Younger days, not too long ago. And I realized as I mature further that I'm an anger management coach as well. And one of the things I always share is this. Don't ever aim that you'll never be ever angry again. You'll get angrier because you will fail badly. Okay, but rather you learn to manage it. And one of the things that you have to be conscious of is the trigger and the button. When people say certain things, certain phrasing, you get very angry, and you have to ask yourself, you have to be mindful, why? Why is that so? These are triggers and buttons. You have to be aware of that. At the moment you can identify them, that marks the beginning of your ability to overcome, the beginning of your victory over those areas. Okay? So self-care is not something you do in spare time or vacation. Oh, boss, I need to take 1 month sabbatical leave. I'm doing self-care. You have to practice this on a daily basis. You have to protect your mind and your heart on a daily basis in your interactions with people. Okay? So it is a disposition, an attitude, or ongoing state of body and mind, Cox and Steiner, 2013. So this is a very good, powerful statement regarding self-care. It is an ongoing basis. So right now, for example, sitting where you are, you have many thoughts going through your mind, things back home, your finances, your job, the demands, etc. Okay? You have to manage that. Okay? When you are in a place, you have to be at the place. And this is where you are mindful and you can gain certain benefits. All right? And we are always learning from each other. Okay? So mindfulness is very important. Very, very important. You cannot prevent the bird from flying over your head, right? But you can prevent it from alighting on your head, build a nest, and raise 5 generations. So certain thoughts, we have to deal with this. I'll come back to this again. develop good, healthy coping mechanism. Well, what is the coping mechanism? It's actually a form of adaptation that people employ, consciously or unconsciously, all right, to gain control over something or to find some form of psychological comfort. If you don't want to die, not easy to die, all right, because we have tremendous survival instincts. If you want to die, quite easy to die, all right? And if you are burnt out, it is possible even to get certain suicidal thoughts. Okay. So we have to develop good, healthy coping mechanisms. Good, healthy coping mechanisms are those that continuously building us up. All right? And unfortunately, many people unconsciously or consciously develop negative coping mechanisms that has tremendous ramifications somewhere down the line. For example, let's talk about workplace bullying. I was interviewed by the papers before on workplace harassment, bullying, etc. How many of you have been bullied in the workplace before? Can I see your hands? 1, 2. Only 2 of you. The rest are 4, 3. Who else? The rest are bullies. It's been proven, bullies were once upon a time being bullied. And one day they woke up, they suddenly has this revelation. I want to be the bully instead. I'm sick of tired of being bullied. That's the way, one of the ways they cope with it. And that is quite negative. During my primary school and secondary school days, which is not too long ago to me, and I was a small fella, even right now, vertically challenged. And I came from neighborhood schools, bit rough. There's constant fighting and bullying. So in order to cope with that, there's a few things I did. All right? I worked hard. Okay? I became the class monitor instead, so that I would not be bullied by any of my classmates. Okay? And then that's not enough. The moment I step out of the class, there's certain issues as well. So I worked hard to become a prefect. That's the way I cope with it. So I'm a class monitor. When I step up, I'm a prefect. And then later on, I realized the other prefects also want to bully. So I worked hard and became the head prefect. Okay? So that is a coping mechanism, all right, that I choose to adopt. So, well, I would call it a lot more positive form of coping mechanism. Now, when someone is stressed, okay, they can turn to substance. You know what I'm talking about, all right? Drinking, all right? When it comes to drinking, you have to be very mindful, okay? You have to practice moderation because all alcoholics all began as social drinkers, all right? Likewise for smoking as well. Now, I'm not giving you a moral lecture or whatsoever, all right? Because that's a lifestyle choice. I do respect that, but I want to encourage you, all right, to really observe and be very mindful about certain coping mechanisms you may have unwittingly developed that could be causing, all right, creating other issues in your life. Okay, coping mechanisms when they are not good, all right, it's like a form of escapism. So when you develop good coping mechanism, for example, reading. How many of you read regularly, besides reading the email from your bosses? Okay, reading is a very powerful habit of success that you and I can practice because within us, we are all limited, all right? When someone writes a book, all right, regardless of what the standard is, they did their best. And there are many, many good books out there because the more you understand, all right, the more you grow within, the stronger you become. And those stress, those negative stress coming upon you, you are better able to manage. So ask yourself, what kind of healthy coping mechanism can you develop? You can run, you can go to take time off, listen to the nature, all right, be involved, okay, take a quiet walk. It helps you, It is tremendous. This is a form of good coping mechanism. All right? John, I prefer to hang out with friends. We just drink. We don't think about anything. Cheers. You know, a friend of mine added me on Facebook to a group called LTP group. I said, what's LTP? Oh, John, Lim Tampo. So all the pictures there are all about drinking. Huh? I don't mind because, you know, I like to be involved, to know people from different backgrounds. And in so doing, it gives me a lot of understanding. Okay? Then the other self-care approach is this. Don't be caged into the world of those you are helping. All right? When you help a client, by the way, when you know, the word help, sometimes I have some issue with that. Okay? By right, when we help someone, we don't expect any compensation. But it is wonderful. We are all compensated to help someone. Okay. So when you help someone through counseling, advice, coaching, you find inevitably you are tied to that person during that time. All right? Because you are engaged with that person. And you know, within someone, when someone is going through a period of challenge, they are more inclined to negativity. They have toxic thoughts in their hearts and their mind. And sometimes they will just ventilate on you. Okay? And this is where you have to be mindful. Don't be caged by that. Okay? And there are some clients that are very good in caging the helper. All right? They actually put a guilt trip on that person. How bad it is, you're not helping me, you're not doing your best. So, like our other speaker was sharing, remember, you are not God. Huh? It is not possible to help everybody. Never forget this. There are those you can help. There are those it's okay, you cannot help. Huh? And you follow the protocol, the SOPs, etc. You have done your best, and don't feel guilty. Don't feel condemned. Don't say you could have done better. You know, you have let that person down, or the person tell you you are lousy, you are no good, you let me down. How am I going to face my family, etc. Don't be caged by that, huh? Because the truth is we cannot be caged. We're not cageable. There's no such English word, by the way. Huh? We're meant to soar, like they said, we're eagles. Okay, so be mindful of this. And then you have to deal and displace debilitating thoughts. Now, whether you like it or not, we are all engaged in self-talk. We talk to ourselves. All right, if you talk to yourself in public, make sure it's not loud. Okay, whether it's MRT, you're talking to yourself, you have to be mindful, don't talk loud. Okay? You attract a lot of attention. Now, I want to give you an illustration. You have a jug, I also have a jug. Our family of origin, that we grew up with, has an impact on us. Our childhood experiences have an impact on us. All right? Our experiences with teachers, etc., all right, what they pronounce and say of us have an impact on us. And sometimes certain words take deep root into someone's mind. It impacts that person for the rest of that person unless that person is able to uproot it. So there are a lot of thoughts coming to us that can be debilitating. Because you move exactly in the direction of your thoughts. No two ways about your energy, your battery power goes exactly in the direction of the thoughts because it's still an ongoing app that you did not close. Okay? So, many people realize this. Certain thoughts of the past affects them very badly. There's certain triggers and, you know, it happens. Okay? So, let's look at this glass is empty, but yet it's not empty because it's filled with air, right? And many people trying to overcome certain thoughts this way. Try to get rid of the air this way. It is not possible, so they gave up. In a certain day, when you get up, you're fresh, you have more than enough sleep, you're raring to go, to put in a good day's work, to clear all the backlog, etc. And suddenly, out of nowhere, a thought came to you. You feel upset. Suddenly, that thought becomes so dominant about the offensive word of the person, how you were betrayed, for example. It affects you. Do you know what? Immediately, you watch it, your energy is being drained. So you try to fight the thought like this. Cannot. And the person can end up calling in sick. So, how should we deal with this? Well, we thank Archimedes. All right, he took a bath. Good thing he took a bath. And we understand the Archimedes principle. So, as far as your mind is concerned, you cannot keep it blank. Oh, Dr. John, I can blank out my mind. I'm a yogi. You cannot blank your mind at all. All right? You see three colors: darkness, white, or gray. Why white? You're in front of a very bright window lah. Okay, nobody see a rainbow. It's just like your smartphone. You close the app, but it's running on the background. So there is the subconscious mind. And sometimes you do not know why you're feeling so lousy. You just do not know why. And you are healthy. You are all right. But you need to examine the thoughts. So many people resign to a life of debilitating thoughts affecting them. Okay? So you must think greater thoughts. You displace that way. You think of greater thoughts on a continuous basis. All right? And you have to be very mindful of this. When the thought lay hold of you, this job sucks. Forever these people are like that one. Why must I always clear that? Why must I be the one doing all that? You have to watch for such thoughts. So much pressure, so little pay, cannot do this, this pay cannot enable do that. What am I doing here? Well, you could be a bit burnt out. So you have to practice this. And how you do this is personal. All right, like our esteemed speaker said also, that she prayed. All right, it works for her. Okay, what was she doing? She's displacing certain thoughts in your mind. So we need to dream bigger. We need to have a dream. All right, because the dream will cause us to be excited about life. Okay, and along the way, because, before I said that, well, John, can you tell me, I want to enter into a season, no trouble, no issue of life at all. Very peaceful. Is there a community like this that I can join? Well, there is. There's a community there. All right, it's so peaceful. The skies are blue, the grass is green, the butterflies are fluttering around, and the birds are chirping so beautifully, and they are 6 feet underground. As long as you are alive, it's good to be alive. All right, it is said, all right, a little dog that's alive is better than a dead lion. Okay, so you practice the art of gratitude every day that you are alive. But along the way, things can happen. All right, finding out your loved one did something they're not supposed to do, it can trouble you. All right? Like, well, it is important to put your family first, like our speaker was sharing. I'm just curious. Well, you love your children so much. You spend time. What do you do with your husband? Okay. Okay. All right? So something happened, and this is an illustration. All right? That thought began to permeate your mind. It spreads because you did not compartmentalize your thoughts. All right, hearing what the colleagues say about you behind your back, when you trust the colleague, you confide in something on the colleague, and he was saying, it can affect you. When the appraisal comes, and your boss gives you an appraisal in one area you don't agree with, this is what can happen. And whatever you do and say, it's tainted. The reason why the child is behaving that way, all right, is because of certain information, certain thought that's dominant inside the child. Okay? And the parent is at the wit's end. Okay? Scold, nag, and what they do is just behavior modification in front of them. Behind, they're still the same. Right? So, it's the same. So, whatever the person do, okay, it comes up this way. Because there's something that is not dealt with. Okay, so what do? It's still the same process. You do this. Notice it gets lighter. It gets lighter and lighter and lighter until it is clear again. And today you don't remember anything what I said. When you drink water, remember this. What did John say? Something about water, like pouring, I don't know. Okay, so don't forget this illustration, all right? It is one of the foremost principles I try my best to practice even on a daily basis, okay? Deal and displace debilitating thoughts, toxic thoughts, etc. When someone says something nasty to you, don't take it in. Don't take it in. It is amazing when someone says good things to you, okay. When someone says negative, take it in. A lot of people just take it in. They just take it in. All right, don't take it in. It is all right. Just let it slide. When someone compliments you, take it in. Say thank you. Have the grace to say, don't say, no lah, no lah. Okay, and when someone says negative, yes, yes. And you react strong on that. Okay, we have to develop healthy sleep patterns.
John, may I just ask you a question now? You talked about dealing and debilitating. So what are the common techniques that
on my, okay, I come back to you during the Q&A, right? You remind me of the question. Okay, so we have to develop healthy sleep patterns. In other words, we need to rest. And sleep is actually a very powerful process of rejuvenation. Okay, a lot of things happen when you are asleep. All right, a lot. Your body begins to heal itself, etc. And the issue is, according to world, well, there's a World Sleep Day. I wonder what it is. On that day, everybody must sleep. World Sleep Day survey shows Singaporeans are sleeping the least. And of all the countries, you know, we in this nation, all right, my Malaysian friends will always tell me, you're so kiasu, always we must be number one in this and that. All right, do you know, well, it is good, all right? We have a lot of accolades given to us in this small little nation. I'm proud of that. But do you know that in the area of sleep, we are number one nation on earth that has the least amount of sleep? Okay, now, realize this. The time you took to rest is not wasted time. It is powerful. It rejuvenates you. There was this CEO of the Indian subcontinent of SAP. You know the company SAP? Okay, and he's a go-getter. He ran the Chennai Marathon, all right? And he will hit the gym every single day. He eat very well. He's very sharp. But there's one thing, all right, that he practiced. He don't believe in sleep. All right, he felt that 4 hours of sleep is more than enough. Okay? So when someone says he has 4 hours of sleep, most likely he will end up lesser than 4 hours. And according to science, all right, an average human being, an adult, need between 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So he violated that. And one day, all right, he went to the gym in his condo, and he was running. When he went home, he suffered a massive cardiac arrest, and he died. He died. Now, heart attack is, there are many reasons for someone suffering a heart attack. And of course, negative stress, burnout on a consistent basis is one of them. So don't underestimate the power of sleep, all right? And when you sleep, before you sleep, how many will look at your phone, your tablet, huh? All right, you have to stop doing that. Oh, and just 10 more minutes. Okay, I'll accelerate. You have to stop doing that, all right, because the blue light from the phone and the tablet upsets the melatonin, the sleep hormone, all right, and after that, you are going to have you'll take a longer time to fall asleep, okay, and that's why I wear these glasses. There's no degree in them at all. It cuts off the blue light, actually, because blue light has been proven to cause macular degeneration. So you have to protect your sleep. You have to rest. Can you pass me the golf club, please? How many of you play golf? Oh, very good. And I spoke to the group director, Lynn, to help me with this illustration. Let's just give her a round of applause. Show us
and I haven't
how you drive
for 15 years.
Oh, it's okay. All right, show us, okay, the drive. Okay, pace yourself, ladies and gentlemen.
Correct, please, all the golfers.
Which part of Singapore do you stay in?
West Coast.
West Coast. The all-time champion from West Coast. Silence, please. Look at her focus. Will she win the cup this time round? Okay, show us the swing. Yeah. Look at it go. A hole in one. One more time. This time, slow motion.
Slow-mo.
Yes. Notice, wait. Okay, freeze that. That's a nice pose. Still photograph, please. Very nice. No, continue, please. Thank you. Hold that pose. Okay. You see, notice she pulled back. All right, when she pulled back, notice she was relaxed. All right, that is, all right, similar to when you decide to rest. You are pulling back. And when she releases, it comes with full force. Right? So when you don't rest, okay, you're not going to be effective at all. You have to protect your sleep. It is sacred. It is important. Okay? Even if you watch those archery competition, they have to pull. So when you rest, you're pulling back. Give her a round of applause, please. I have a gift for you for helping this. It's called a first aid kit given by Singapore Emergency Responder Academy so that you can help others. You were telling me you do a lot of mountaineering. Wow, so sporty. So you can carry this with you. I think it's worth $20 over and help others. Thank you very much. A round of applause, please. Okay, so develop healthy sleep patterns. And then, in closing, there are certain breathing techniques that you and I can practice. Many people are not conscious of their breathing. Okay, there's a right way to breathe and a wrong way to breathe. And notice that when you're excited, nervous, and anxious, you breathe quite differently. All right, correct breathing should be diaphragmatic from your diaphragm, from the stomach. Okay. And when you are anxious or when you're stressed, you tend to breathe just using the upper lungs. In other words, your chest will heave in and out. Notice when you're angry, you, all right, and it actually escalates your anxiety. So learning to breathe and relax is very important. All right, let's do this exercise. Place one hand on your chest and the other hand on your tummy. If you cannot locate your tummy, you can ask your neighbor to help you. Okay, now breathe. You should feel your stomach rising and going down, not your chest. That's the correct way to breathe. When you heave your chest, you are breathing on quite a shallow basis. So it must be from the stomach. Okay, all right? And you keep training yourself until you breathe correctly. I promise you, your stomach will not grow bigger. Okay, it will correct the way you take in deeper breath. So let's say you are a bit stressed out. You can practice some deep breathing. Okay, shall we practice right now? Okay, you inhale, see your stomach, your diaphragm inflating. Now release slowly, take another breath, breathe in, then breathe out slowly. Okay. Now, when you can't sleep, if you do certain breathing exercise, you can fall asleep quite fast. You want to learn how? Okay, just close your eyes. Just relax right now. Okay, tonight you practice this. Just close your eyes. No problem in the world. Every problem can be resolved. Things will take care of by itself. You have done your best. It's okay. Relax. Now take a deep breath. Breathe in. Now exhale 7 times slowly. So from the one breath, you exhale 7 times. In, out, 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 7 times. Then you do it again. Okay, and you release 7 times. Do a few times. Okay, look up here. How many feel a lot more relaxed? I'm the only one. Tonight you do it. You know why? When you take a deep breath and you say you must exhale 7 times, do you know whatever worries and anxiety you have, you can't think of them? You'll be thinking how to exhale 7 times. It does work. It's been proven to work. So throughout the day, when you feel the pressure, all right, do practice this. And also, back to sleep, just a little bit. And now, of course, during lunch, in Singapore, it's about 1 hour. Okay, I always wonder why people need 1 hour to eat, you know. All right, of course, there's traveling time, etc. You know, one of the reasons why China is getting so productive is this. When I was in Foshan, Guangzhou, all right, they told me this. It is inbuilt in their culture and training since kindergarten days. They must take a nap just after lunch. It's compulsory. So in every company in China, all right, they let them take a nap. And no, they believe in it so much, they extend the lunch hour 1.5 hours. Okay, even if you don't have 1.5 hours, you just take a short nap for a few minutes. I promise you, all right, you'll increase your productivity and effectiveness as high as 50%. Okay, practice that. All right, just 12 minutes. Oh, I worry I cannot get up. Set an alarm, etc. And you find that there are many sleep pods, all right, in Amazon, in Google, they're already practicing that. And in China, it is a common practice. So if you go and visit them during lunchtime, you have to wait for a long time. Why? They are sleeping. Okay, do practice that. Remember the illustration of the golf club. All right, likewise, it is for tennis. You have to pull back before you come back with full force. With this, I close. Thank you very much for listening. Remember, you may not have a good day. That's good every day. Live long and prosper.